This is Missy Hyatt, and you're listening to the Interactive Interview.
You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the Interactive Interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com.
Okay, our first question comes from Chris Ferguson. Your line is now open, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Steiner. It's an honor to talk to you.
Thank you, man.
Is there anyone in TNA you're looking forward to working with?
The main reason I came in is to beat up Sting, so we're going to find out what happens this Sunday, So that was the purpose. My main purpose to come in is make Sting's return to the ring as short as possible.
And my second question would be, I've got a list here. Any plans on touring Japan? Anytime soon?
Anytime to what?
Anytime soon, do you plan on touring Japan?
At the current time, no. No, we went over there for a long time, no.
And my final question for you is, you debuted in TNA with a new tattoo on your chest. Is there any significance to it?
Yeah, there's a few. Between me and my freaks, to my women. They want a little variety, so I can't go into great detail. It's just not good for radio.
Well, thank you very much, and you have a good one, sir.
All right, thanks, man.
Our next question comes from James Walsh. Your line is now open, sir.
Hi, Scott Steiner. It's James Walsh from the Wrestling Epicenter on the Blaze 1260 AM. It's good to talk to you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Good to talk to you. So let me ask you this question. Why TNA and why now?
It was timing, Jeff called me up, wanted me to take care of Sting, and I've had issues with Sting in the past, so, I definitely jumped at that opportunity. That was all these fans that are behind Sting, they want to come over and take over TNA, but, they're going to find out it's not going to be so easy. It's not going to be, show them that, Sting's no competition to the Big Papa Pump,
About 5 years ago.
How was he going to contend with that?
Really? About 5 years ago, they had, you were the champion, and Jeff Jarrett was kind of your, for lack of a better term, your bodyguard of sorts in WCW. Now the roles seem to be a little bit reversed, where Jarrett's more going for the title. Do you have designs yourself to be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion?
At this, I'm sure eventually something will happen, but like I said, my mindset's on Sting, I watch what TNA's been doing, and, they've been messing with Jeff. And, like, everybody rolls up the red carpet for Sting, like he's going to be, he's the champion of the rednecks and white trash, and I'm going to put him in his place, and these fans are just hoping that he'd make a, miraculous comeback when I beat him down. That's pay-per-view. It's not going to happen. They're going to realize it, that this, like I said, Sting, there's no match.
There's another guy that you beat about 6 years back who has the same superhero atmosphere to as Sting, and that's Bill Goldberg. A lot of people have been chanting his name when you come out to the arena. Would you like to see Goldberg in TNA?
I'll see Goldberg in his backyard. I don't care. I'll beat his ass one time, I'll beat it again, It's not a big deal, They can chant that. See, that's all. The fans can cheer who they will want, Everybody wants to see me get beat. It's not going to happen, They're going to put, my back's as wide as a Cadillac. How are you going to put that down on mat for 1, 2, 3? It's not going to happen.
Well, you look in phenomenal shape. Obviously, you keep hitting the gym.
Oh, yeah. That's why they call me the genetic freak.
All right, here's a little bit of a more personal question. About 2 months back, I had a chance to interview Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham, and we were discussing all the people that he influenced, and oddly enough, he didn't really think that he influenced you all that much, though I see a lot of the superstar in you. Did he at all influence the Big Papa Pump character?
Superstar is correct there. I was, I never really, I've seen old tapes of Superstar, but that was when he had, his head was shaved. And, he had different goatee, similar but real close. But I was big, all the tapes I saw, I was a big fan of Superstar. But as far as copying them,
Okay. Last question I have for you is that AMW, America's Most Wanted, is one of TNA's premier tag teams. When you see those guys in the ring, a lot of the older tag teams, I should say, like the Rock and Roll Express, have said that they're a throwback to the days of the great tag teams. Do you have any desire to maybe call up Rick and have a tag team match with these guys?
We did our tag team thing, man. It's like we destroyed everybody that we wrestled in tag team. We did all we had. I think we took tag team, as far as wrestling everybody we could at that time. It was time for me to move on, so. You never say never, but, never know.
Excellent, man. Well, we do appreciate it, and we're looking forward to seeing you this Sunday at TNA's Lockdown.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from King Jordan. Your line is now open.
Good afternoon, Big Pop from Scott Steiner. How are you?
What's going on, man?
All right, first off, can you tell me about your run with Vince McMahon and WWE? It didn't seem to work out too well. Bring me up to date on that.
Oh, it's the same thing that happens to everybody. WWE, it's Triple H, So.
He held you back?
No. What do you think?
Well, you came in there and you started a program with Triple H, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it looked to be a great thing, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
Yeah, well, look what happened to everybody else. Same thing Goldberg, same thing Kevin Nash. It's like, what can he do, This guy's a very insecure man, And he, realistically speaking, if he wasn't banging the boss's daughter, he wouldn't have a job there right now.
So these rumors are true about Triple H holding people back?
Oh, without doubt. He's a very insecure man. Never been an athlete in his life.
Okay, another question I have for you is, how do you feel that TNA can compete legitimately with the WWE as WCW once did? Remember the Monday Night Wars?
Right. Yeah, well, back in '96, we were basically doing the same thing TNA is right now. We're doing TV tapings down in Orlando, same stage, everything. And there's a lot of parallels between two companies, TNA and WCW, other than the fact that Ted had Turner owned PBS, But as far as that, a few changes here, a few changes there, you never know. I think, as everybody has noticed, Vince never picked up the WCW audience. It's like, and it's still out there. So I think, if everything falls into place, that we can pick up the WCW audience that's still out there because, not everybody wants to watch the trash that's on, WWE. I mean, it's hard to watch,
Yeah, how do you feel about the lighter schedule in TNA?
It's not a problem, I'm wrestling about as much as I want.
Right. And last question, how do you feel about the drug policy in TNA? It was discussed on, quite frankly, that'll be taken by case.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I've never failed a drug test in my life, and I don't plan on it,
Thank you, Scott, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and keep up the great work.
We'll look forward to me watching me or just me watching Destroying Sting?
The combination. You're looking phenomenal shape.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay, buddy.
Our next question comes from Alex Marvez. Your line is now open.
Hey, Scott. Can you talk a little about the injuries you've battled in recent years, and what is your health status now?
I'm fine right now. As you see me on TV, I look as great as I ever looked, It's just injuries are part of sport, I'm pretty much injured every body part that you can, So.
Was the biggest problem in recent years your foot, having the drop foot?
Yeah, I had nerve damage in my foot. I had that when I was in WWE, And I had it at the end of WCW, and then it just never got better, so after I left WWE, I got it fixed.
6 screws in your foot, right?
6 screws, a tendon transfer, bone graft from my hip. Jeez. So it's pretty expensive.
You took, obviously after the WWE stint, you took some time away from the wrestling business. Has your perception of the wrestling business and maybe of life in general changed since you had a little bit of time to work away, to step away after working full time all those years?
As far as what?
Well, as far as maybe your outlook on life or outlook on the wrestling business, because sometimes it can be so myopic, just being in the wrestling business and not having anything outside of it.
Well, in life, I've always, women are, the greatest thing put on earth. I've always loved women, and even when I was away, I just spent more time loving women. So as far as that point, life's still great for me. But lessons change.
In what way?
I don't know. It's like all these small guys now, and it's like, I don't know. It's different. It's like almost like guys can't even wrestle in the ring now. It's like, so I mean, when I was up in WWE, they couldn't understand why I would do push-ups in the ring, and I well, I don't fucking understand the spirit squad. You know what I mean? And they're pushing a retard. I mean, come on, I don't. And you can understand push-ups? Come on.
Obviously, your brother's gone on to prepare for life after wrestling with his real estate practice and working in the school board. What are your post-wrestling plans?
Well, my post-wrestling plans has my plans all along. Like about 6 years ago, I broke Wilt Chambers' record of 20,000 women, and the number's growing higher, and that's what I plan on doing for the rest of my life. Pleasing my feet.
Hey, it's the last question for you. This is going to be your 20th year in the business. What is your fondest memory?
I think anytime you win a world title or something, moments that stick out the most, and the times you have going down the road,
Great, thanks, Scott.
All right, man.
Good job, Alex.
Our next question comes from Alec Watchett. Your line is now open.
Hi, Scott. My name is Alan Wojcik. I'm with TNAheadlines.com and a couple other TNA websites. Since you've been back with TNA Wrestling and you and Jeff basically been roughshotting everyone from Andy Douglas of the Naturals to Shark Boy and Norman.
Yeah. You there?
I think we lost. Hello?
Lost you.
Hello?
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Oh, this is the operator. We temporarily lost Mr. Watchett. Could you please press star 1?
Star 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Mr. Steiner?
I hear you. I lost you for a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wojcik. I'm with TNAheadlines.com.
Okay.
This Sunday will be your first time actually competing in the six-sided ring. Have you, at the TV tapings, have you had any chance to actually work out in the ring, and what do you think of the concept of a six-sided ring?
I think it's, innovative concept. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely gonna be different when I step in there. We'll see what happens. But I was planning on grounding and pounding anyway, so I don't plan on, getting any, hitting the ropes or anything like that. I'm just, I was thinking about not even making it to the ring, I might beat him up in the locker room, so that octagon ain't gonna be nothing, So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's definitely gonna be different than the four corners,
Yeah, and also you've competed in multiple cage matches, and I'm hoping. Have you seen footage of the previous last year's Lockdown pay-per-view where it was an all-cage pay-per-view and many people thought they're going to kill the cage gimmick? Have you seen the six sides of steel matches, and how do you mentally prepare for it?
Yeah, I've seen different parts of it, and definitely having the cage around the ring is added element of danger, but you just can't go in there and think. You have to focus in mind who you're gonna, lock horns with and go at it.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Steiner. Good luck Sunday.
All right, man.
If you have a question, please press star 1 on your touchtone phone. Our question comes from Brian Stowe. Your line is now open, sir.
Hi, Scott. This is Brian. I'm still at the Stranglehold in St. Louis on WGNE Radio.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Appreciate you joining us. I'm curious, obviously you've got the long relationship with Jeff Jarrett going back to the WCW days, but how has that relationship changed from then versus now, just both in the ring and outside of the ring?
Oh, it's pretty much the same. It actually goes back a lot longer than that. When he was in, after I started wrestling for Dick the Bruiser. From Dick the Bruiser, I went to Tennessee with Jeff. That was in 87, 86, 87, one of them. And stayed, so I've known Jeff before WCW, so.
Gotcha. You mentioned America's Most Wanted, and you're kind of done with the tag team sort of thing, but also with the psychology. If a group like them came to you, or some of the other younger wrestlers, what do you share? What sort of advice would you give about the sort of in-ring psychology that you think might be missing a little bit today?
I'll tell you the truth, I don't, I'm pretty much, once I get to the building, I got a mindset. I don't really talk that much, I kind of, I'm off at my own, my own world, So I really don't talk that much once I get to the building.
Being in that own world, do you think at times there might be a misconception about Scott Steiner, that people might mistake some of your actions wrongly?
Possibility, but, I don't really care what people thought about me.
A couple of your two, I guess, most infamous microphone sessions, promos in the ring, were about Diamond Dallas Page and Ric Flair. Have there been any sort of, I guess, creative controls placed on you coming into TNA? Were there any discussions about what they would like or not like for you to say on the ring, on the microphone?
Her hand is definitely on the button, the button. No, they brought up Big Papa Ben because it's Big Papa, so nothing really been said. Although, I know the finger's on the button,
Right. What's the difference between Big Papa now and the Big Papa that we saw make his debut a few years ago?
I would have to say, a little bigger. Well, it's the same though, same attitude. Not much change,
With the extensive work that you had to have done on your foot, how has that altered your training outside of the ring? Did that make it easier just because you were having to rehab the leg and you're able to train everything else, or was it more difficult because you had to spend so much effort on getting the foot squared away?
My training, other than the foot, was the same, but I was in a cast for 5 months, so that made training hard, but it's come back. Although it takes a long time, it's came back,
Yeah, I agree with everybody. You look great, but was it more challenging this time? Did you have the same fire, the same sort of passion to get ready to come back in again, or after almost 20 years now, is it kind of like a little more difficult to get up in the morning and put the boots on, so to speak?
No, I actually that time it was good because I kind of I missed it. It's like I never give me a lot of time to to think. I'm glad I'm still able to wrestle, Even though I have had a lot of injuries, I've had a long career. I'm still glad I can still do it,
What is it that you like most about it?
Just the feeling of going to the ring and the adrenaline rush, that's in the world,
You had, obviously, great success with your brother as a tag team, and it was kind of a different style, certainly a different look for you, but individually became world champion and, a whole different level of success as Big Papa Pump. Do you kind of miss some of the old days, I guess, so to speak, or that different style where you had the dark hair and, you weren't Big Papa Pump, you were more Scott Steiner, the Michigan athlete that was in the ring?
No, I totally, Big Papa's more me. I enjoy the people booing me. I enjoy pissing the fans off. It comes easy for me, it was, being, coming right out of college, doing the Michigan tag team and stuff like that. It was great because that's basically who I was when I came out. But then, people changed, everything evolves. And I got tired of being, the nice guy and stuff. And when but Big Papa's where I'm at now in my life,
Right. What about about the style of wrestling? I know obviously physically the injuries have taken some toll, but it's been a long time since we've seen the Frankensteiner and some of those other sorts of things that were trademarked. Do you wish you could still pull some of those out of the bag of tricks?
Well, people love the Frankenstein, but I'm not here. That was something I did before, and it's like, I don't know. I'd rather ground and pound.
So, and I guess that plays more into the whole psychology. You don't have to do some of those other things now.
Right. Yeah. Bottom line is beat somebody up,
Where do you see things going for Scott Steiner after you take care of business with Sting on Sunday? Is this something you see long term, or do you see some other people getting involved in the mix?
You never know. I always appreciate beating another man up.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody else gets in the way, you never know. But I'm just playing day by day, fight by fight.
We talked with Sting the other night, and he said he was looking forward to, besides this Sunday, he was looking forward to working with an AJ Styles or an Abyss, and he mentioned a couple other guys down the road, Samoa Joe, that he'd like to get in there and mix it up with and kind of give back. Is there anybody that kind of comes to your mind that you're thinking, that would be a good matchup for Big Papa, and it not only would it be a money match, but it would be a chance to maybe elevate somebody else to your level?
Let me just put one thing straight. You can't elevate somebody up to my level. A man with the largest arms in the world. I mean, how are you going to elevate somebody up to me?
My mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like, the old saying goes, trying to make chicken shit out of chicken salad,
Scott, appreciate
chicken salad, chicken shit, one of them, It ain't going to happen,
All right. A couple other quick questions. Any chance that we'll see Medeja returning, or any freaks to be accompanying you down to the ring?
I'll unleash the freaks, in public. But as far as, I still have my freak behind the scenes. Medeja's always been my favorite freak, and it's never.
Okay. All right. And any of your other buddies that we've seen in the ring before who may be coming in? Any sort of names out there that are in the rumor mill that you've spoken with that maybe debuting in TNA in the near future?
That's another thing that we'll have to wait and see, man.
All right. We'll do. Appreciate the time today. We'll be watching on Sunday.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Scott.
Our next question comes from Patrick Kelly. Your line is now open, sir.
Hello, Big Papa Pump. How you doing today?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I just got a few quick questions for you. You're making your in-ring return this Sunday at Lockdown. Are you excited about stepping back into the ring?
Oh, I'm just excited about beating somebody up, Matter of fact, I went down to Detroit the other day to the bar just to look for somebody to, punch, to try to get ready for this match.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
People up because, name of the game,
You mentioned that you were going to take out Sting. What do you think of his teammates? Do you think any of them are a match for Big Papa Pump?
Physically, nobody matches up to Big Papa Pump. I mean, come on. But, they all got their different styles, and we'll see what happens, But, like I say, Sting is my main focus. And the Rhino or AJ Styles or Ron Killings gets in my way, I feel sorry for him.
Okay, aside from name recognition and star power, what do you think you can bring to the table at TNA?
Name recognition and star power? We're just going to try to, bring TNA to where, WCW was at one point, and hopefully compete with, Vince and, see what happens. I said earlier the parallels are, unbelievable the way TNA is around now and where WCW was back in '96 as far as taping at Orlando and stuff like that. If if the right moves are made, you never know, because Vince did not pick up the WCW audience.
No, you didn't, definitely. But how does TNA differ from WWE or WCW? You've obviously worked for all the major promotions, but how is TNA different from everybody else?
Well, the ring is the most obvious difference. But, they're trying to bring a new style around, But, basically wrestling is wrestling. People want to see the confrontations. People want to see personalities. And people want to see showmanship. So, as far as, that's not going to change much in wrestling. We just got to bring that in, to the forefront and see, compete,
All right, excellent, excellent. Now, you're currently in Jeff Jarrett's big heel stable with pretty much every bad guy in the company. Do you see that huge, gigantic group becoming like TNA's version of the NWO?
I don't, me and Jeff and I were in that NWO, but you never know, it's got to be the right mixture of personalities and, talent, but as of right now, I don't think that's our mindset,
Okay, last question I have is, after you're done with Sting, what do you see Big Papa Pump doing in TNA?
We'll see what happens. Whoever steps to the plate and thinks they can, go one-on-one with, me is a mind-blowing thought in itself. But if that ever happens, beat them up too, my disgust for Sting has been for a while now, and that's gonna be the ultimate pleasure. Just, man, I hate it when the rednecks and white trash should try to cheer Sting up, trying to help him rise above, the beatdown that I gave him. And it's like, it makes me sick. So it's all going to come to a head Sunday,
Okay, well, good luck this Sunday. I look forward to seeing you in the Lethal Lockdown match.
All right, man. All right.
Our next question comes from Wade Needham. Your line is now open, sir.
Hey, Big Papa Dump, what's up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just kicking back. Definitely want to let you know that I'm going to order Lockdown just because you are on that pay-per-view.
All right, man.
Hell yeah, man. You are...
What's that other reason? You watch me beat Sting's ass?
Oh, hell yeah, man. You're the whole fucking show, dude.
That's right.
Hell yeah. All right, but I got a couple...
You gotta watch me do the damage, man.
Yeah. I just want to know, do you have an opinion about the verbal battle between AJ Styles and Dave Bautista?
Well, I actually haven't been paying attention to what's going on.
Oh, well, a couple of months ago, Dave Bautista said on WWE.com that AJ Styles was a spot monkey, and recently AJ Styles said that Dave Bautista doesn't know how to wrestle because he took a bump and tore his back.
Hey, that's...
Can you describe how awesome it was to get a lap dance from Stacy Keibler?
Stacy Keibler has the finest legs.
Oh, yeah.
And professional wrestling, and pretty much the whole world, I mean, when I walked out the ring with her, she'd been down through the ropes. It was the best place in the house, I had the best seat in the house. So, yeah, it was awesome. She was I always got along with Stacy.
Very cool. And finally, my friend Dennis wanted to know, what retail store can you find a Steiner recliner for sale?
You mean the actual sofa?
There you go.
I don't know, man.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much, and good luck this Sunday. But then again, you don't need luck because you are the whole fucking show. Big Papa Dump, Scotty Steiner.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, keep it real.
All right.
Our next question comes from Greg Oliver. Your line is now open. Mr. Oliver? Our next question comes from Karen Belcher. Your line is now open.
Hello, Scott. I've been a big fan of yours for many years. We used to go to all the WCW shows when they came around.
She's
still
a
like
freak.
you very much. I wanted to know, you and your brother were great innovators back when you first started. And now, do you look at the X Division guys and see any of the same kind of innovative work there? Do you draw any comparisons?
Yeah, they're definitely coming up with some innovative moves, but, you still watch it. Still, a lot of them do the Frankensteiner, so, but not at 275 pounds, So,
that's true.
Yeah, but they definitely have, they come up with some innovative moves, but, once you get in a ring, it's mano a mano, it's mano a mano, it's like, do all the moves you want. So once do all the moves you want in the ring with me. Once I club you one of these ham hocks, you'll be knocked out.
And do you think Do you look back and think that maybe bringing in those kind of moves that you and your brother had a lasting effect on today's new wrestling style?
I don't know. That's not really me. That was just the style that we, brought in and started. That's not up to me to decide where, our place in history is, and it's other people.
Oh, well, thanks very much, Scott.
All right, man. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, too.
Our next question comes from Greg Oliver. Your line is now open. Mr. Oliver?
Mr. Oliver. Are you cousin Oliver from the radio?
Next question comes from Mike Johnson. Your line is now open, sir.
Oh, Mikey.
Hey, Scott, how you doing today?
Good, how you doing?
Good, very good. A couple of questions for you. One, the Bill Watts autobiography that just came out, he had some very strong words about you. I don't know if you're aware of them, but he spoke about when he instituted the WCW drug policy. He basically painted you as a steroid user that was against it, and he also painted you as someone that was hard to work with, and that he wanted to turn you heel against your brother Rick, and you fought him against it.
Ooh.
But years later, when they eventually did the similar angle and turned you heel, you became a huge star. And he painted it as, had you done it back then, things would have turned out differently for his run managing the company. Any thoughts on that?
Bill Watts is the biggest asshole I ever met. He came in and tried to be a big bully. And, I had talks with these older wrestlers like Wahoo and McDowell for one. He said Bill Watts was a punk, He'd come in like I said, he tried to come in like a bully, and I wasn't going to take any of his crap, I called him out, and he didn't do nothing about it, so now he writes a book. Well, why didn't he do something about it when I called him out, He's a punk.
Another person that you had issues with in the past was Diamond Dallas Page. There was the famous incident backstage where you and him got into the physical confrontation after you had made some comments about Kimberly on the mic. Looking back on the entire WCW scene at that point, do you think the company was just out of control, and was there anything that could have been done to kind of rein things in before it fell apart?
To this day, if WCW was ran right, from the higher-ups, it would still be in business, but the higher-ups, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
The higher-ups didn't want less for whatever reason, even though we beat the Atlanta Braves when they were in the playoffs. We beat them. They did not want wrestling, so I don't think there was anything that could have been done to save it because of that fact. Even though we were drawing great ratings, beat Vince, I think 82, 86 weeks in a row. It's like it didn't mean nothing to them. It's like they didn't appreciate wrestling. So the money that we brought in and the ratings we brought in. So who's to say what could have saved wrestling if you don't have support of the office guys up in the TNN tower?
Right. Do you think the lack of respect for the wrestling is what led to so many of the stars pulling some of the shenanigans that they did during the end of the WCW run with no-shows and claims of injuries and things of that nature?
I can't speak for other guys, but I don't know what the thoughts were thing, but, for the most part, I think, looking back, I think everybody, regrets what happened, It was like, what a great place WCW was. So, but if you don't have the support of the top management, you're doomed for failure. Right. But, a lot of people criticize Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff was the best thing that ever happened to WCW. So, and if anybody says different, they're out of their mind.
That leads me to my final question. You talked about how everybody kind of regrets the way things ended up with WCW. Well, now guys like you and Sting have a chance for a new generation of guys to be taught and to make their names and carve out their own niche in the business in TNA. What do you think of the new generation of guys that have been brought up, the guys like Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, and what can be done to build TNA without eventually having it fall apart the way WCW did? What advice would you give management to not repeat the mistakes of WCW management?
Well, there's a lot of difference between TNA management and WCW because management because, you know, they want wrestling. TNA, TBS did not want wrestling. That was a big downfall.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Good job, Rick.
Our next question comes from Alan Wojcik. Your line is now open.
Thanks, Mr. Steiner. Alan Wojcik of TNA Headlines again. I just wanted to bring something that Mr. Johnson had spoke on about how the differences are backstage with the talent. What do you feel the main differences are with the TNA management, with Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter, with Terry Taylor in charge, as opposed to WWE with Vince McMahon?
Say that again?
What do you feel the major differences are with TNA management led by Dixie Carter, Jeff Jarrett, and Terry Taylor as head of talent relations? How do you feel it differs from the days of WWE with Vince McMahon and Jim Ross and now Johnny Ace?
Well, it's pretty hard for me to comment on TNA right now because I've been there for such a short period, but, you know, what I've noticed is the atmosphere is a lot different, you know, but, you know, in WWE, it's just, you know, Vince surrounded himself by a bunch of yes men, you know, so, you know, there's definitely, you know, I mean, when I left there, it was brutal, and it got worse, than, you know, backstage than it ever has, so, you know, that's the only difference, you know, I can really, like I said, I can't really comment because I haven't been there with the TNA that often, but, you know, it's, like I said, I know a lot of guys up in miserable up in WWE, and it's still like that right now, you know.
TNA's recently done some test house shows in Detroit, and they've been running the past couple weekends throughout Virginia. Do you think that's something that TNA needs to do to survive, is to have house shows and become a traveling company?
Well, definitely it's good to have a traveling company do different, like, you know, like, basically like WCW, just go to different places. Because when you tape in one place all the time, I think you don't get a true response from the fans.
Jake, come on.
And then, you know, plus you want to definitely go to a different person.
Who the fuck is Jake?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
At this time, Mr. Steiner, there are no more questions.
Okay.
Actually, hold on for a second, sir. We have a question from John Chapman. Your line is now open, sir.
Hey, what's up, Scott?
What's up?
How's it going, man?
Good.
It's good to see you back.
Oh, thanks, man.
I had a question to ask you. I'm just curious, you know, the perception around the wrestling industry is that the tag team division is basically fading away. I just wanted to know if you agree with that, and if so, what do you think's going wrong?
I wouldn't say that, even though I don't really pay attention to tag
Hey, on!
much, you know.
Who the fuck is Jake?
You know, I think tag teams the same as what? I don't know if, you know, there's as many tag teams, good tag teams as there was back then, like, you know, Road Warriors and Ron Simmons and Butch Reed and, you know, Skyscrapers with Sid Vicious, Danny, but Danny, it's just, I think the quality has gone down, but other than that, I think it's pretty much the same.
And as far as your wrestling ability, did you ever reach a point, because, I mean, you have suffered through a lot of injuries and everything, did you ever reach the point where you were considering retirement, or you were always motivated to continue?
I would actually, you know, I was pretty much done after WCW, but, you know, WWE offered me, you know, actually more money than I was asking for, so it was hard to turn down, you know. So.
Was there anything positive in the WWE experience?
No.
No?
No. Not really. Not really.
If those guys had ever, you know, decided to put the Steiner brothers in the Hall of Fame, would you go?
What's the Hall of Fame? It's, you know, it's Vince McMahon picking who he wants as Hall of Fame. It's just a storyline. It's another story. You know?
Right.
So.
And I'm going to try to ask you a question you haven't heard yet. what's freakier, David Arquette trying to wrestle or Mike Awesome trying to cut a promo?
They're pretty much equal.
And the last question, if I holler, will you hear me?
It depends what your woman look like.
All right, man. Good luck with TNA, my friend.
All right, thanks.
All right, be good.
All right, at this time, Mr. Steiner, we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Like what you're hearing? Follow us on social media. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/Wrestling Epicenter, or just search Wrestling Epicenter in the search box on Facebook. On Twitter at WEpicenter. On YouTube at IWR Interactive. And of course, check us out at WrestlingEpicenter.com, your hub and home of all things professional wrestling interviews. We're the originals, and we love what we do.
Hello, Brad.
I think James went to go push the record button. I don't know.
Everybody else does. That's why. Sorry, I just quite have to deal. I have to live in Tampa, Florida, and deal with a bunch of assholes and a bunch of ignorant people that first off, need to speak English if they're going to live in the United States.
You sound like a JBL promo from last night.
What?
You sound like a JBL promo from last night.
He's my favorite.
He just last night they did a backstage segment, or I guess it wouldn't count.
They did what?
They did a segment where JBL was on the border and he kicked a Mexican in the ass to send him back to Mexico.
Oh, I love JBL. I just, I wish someone had a copy of him in Germany when he went in the ring and goose stepped.
Yeah.
And friggin' did the high Hitler thing. Oh, I love it. I love it. Those morons, they have no idea. I still would love to see one of those little, one of their history books. I would like to see one of our history books in about 20 years. They'll be in Spanish.
Hey, I grew up right outside New York City, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
I'm moving back.
You're moving back there?
Yeah. Because there's one place in New York City that you have to speak English.
I don't know. I didn't know.
You can speak other languages, but if you want to get anything done, like I swear to God, I'm not joking, in Tampa, at the Walmart, on Del Mabry, there's a lady in cosmetics that does not speak English, and she works there. That must not surprise you guys, but it surprises the heck out of me, because I know that, to be, they're trying to say, if you retro at all you illegal aliens, that's things you need to do so you can become legal, and one of them is, speak English.
Yeah. Well, we have the freaking governor out here in Arizona. We're right next to the border, and we have the freaking governor out here that will not pass a bill that requires English to be taught in our schools.
What?
Yes.
What, he doesn't require English to be taught?
It's a she. No, no, she does not want English to be a requirement for Spanish people.
Can I get you talk to your opponent, please?
Yeah, out here, I remember when I was out west, I went to an A&W.
Why, do you not take coupons?
Wow.
Oh my God. Hello.
Hi.
You know what? Do you know that English is not a language? English is not a, like the United States or whatever. We don't have, or either Florida, I know for a fact, we don't have, a national language or whatever.
Yeah.
Not anymore. So I know where I live, it's if you go to any fast food restaurant, all the workers are incapable of speaking English, and it's pretty frustrating when they're trying to take your orders.
What?
All the fast food restaurants where I live, I don't think any of them speak English.
Who?
The people who work at McDonald's and places like that.
No, they don't. They don't. And it's it's okay. You can come here and you can be illegal, and you drop a baby, and you get welfare, and you get food stamps, and you get everything else. you don't have to be American.
And you know what else they get? They don't have to pay taxes either.
They're trying to get everything. They were trying to pass that Spanish be like the language or whatever, and they complained that, and you go down to Miami, and like every sign, there's one in Spanish, the street signs and all that stuff is posted in English and then in Spanish. And I think that they need to either do something, legislature-wise or whatever, and make English the language. Because, like, back in the day, when you had to come over here and go through Ellis Island and immigrate to this country, you had to speak English.
Mm-hmm.
But and I still think that,
Yeah, well, one of the reasons I moved out of the, I'm right outside New York City. I'm down in New Jersey, really, when I moved out. And one of the reasons I did move was the town next to me, all the signs were in Korean.
What? Right.
All the signs were in Korean. And
when I lived down in Little Italy, down in Manhattan, like, please, Chinatown was getting, like, engulfing it. And you would be walking during the summer, and they got, like, those little places, and the fish got all out in the, out in the road and everything. And they'd also have, ladies would be walking, like, with a stick across their back and, like, bundles of something. and they'd whack you with them. I mean, they think they're in Saigon or something.
Oh, my God.
And I'm very, 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 very sympathetic to, like, Vietnamese and everything like that, because I think our government really screwed them over big time.
Mm-hmm.
They came and asked for our help, and we just really screwed them and took us. And then the other people, whatever they're fighting now, Saddam Hussein's area or whatever, they didn't ask for our help. They don't even want us there, and we're over there sticking it up their tuchuses. So either way, America, they just stick it up your tuchus.
Well, last time we spoke with you, you were going to do a show with Tammy Fitch. How did that go?
Oh, it was okay.
There was no confrontations or anything?
Nah. I mean,
from what Francine told us.
Strong, and she got about 100 pounds on me, and I'd be scared she'd hurt me.
Ooh. See, now, when you say that, it kind of makes me surprised, because when Francine told us about it, she was there that weekend as well. She said the first night was really awkward, but the second night you guys seemed to get along a little bit better. Is that true?
Well, no.
No.
Because she said Tammy went and had the balls to say that she didn't say all that stuff that she said about me on the thing. And then she says, another thing she says, is that, well, I went on shows and said a bunch of bad stuff about her, which was not true. I had never been on any shows and said anything bad about her. I mean, I used to think Tammy was one of my close friends. I loved her to death. And people on our website, Missy Hyatt, our website has been asking for pictures of her, and I have all the content from the old Dixon, so my nephew's sending me all the pictures and stuff, so we're going to start putting up some galleries of her back in the day.
Back when maybe we'd want to look at her? Not to be rude, but back when she still looked like Sunny a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen what she looks like lately. I hear she doesn't look all that great.
Just
I
heavier.
don't know what her problem is. I don't know what her problem is. She said it's a thyroid problem, but, I have a thyroid problem, and I take thyroid medicine for it. So, so I don't know. I have no clue to be able to even, wonder what she's thinking or anything about her.
Well, it seemed to be a couple weeks back was Beat Up on Missy Hyatt week. And I say that because I got that in the mail. Somebody had sent me a complimentary copy of the Tammy shoot. And somebody also sent, of the Tammy shoot interview that we were just talking about.
Right.
But somebody also sent me the New Jack hardcore DVD.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear about what he had to say about you? Yeah.
Let me just tell you something. I know he said all this stuff because I talked about it on another thing, and it's really funny because I went through. I've been clean. I haven't taken any pills, done any drugs or anything in like 2 years, 7 months, and I told him he could stay, hang out in my house, whatever, blah blah blah. The people that were helping me, the doctors and everything, the office manager guy, he ended up shooting himself and killing himself. He had a lot of really serious other problems that were going on that, that we didn't know about him. Like Sherry, his wife, was friends. She was a nurse, and they were just good friends of mine. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Crumley's still around, and I don't know what all of the stuff that New Jack was saying, and if anything, my boyfriend was telling me some of the stuff, and I was laughing my rear end off about it, because I'm sitting here, being good, not doing, any drugs, anything like that. And New Jack is begging me to go take him to go find him crack. So he's out in my Porsche and, going to these areas, buying crack. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then he's in my apartment in the other room smoking crack. Now crack, the Tammy, like she says, I like it. I don't like it.
Sure, right.
That's just, I have ADHD, and, when you're like that, crack's not your friend. So
I don't even know what crack does to you.
Speed and cocaine and stuff, But his problem was, he got me booked on some shows and everything. It was fun because, it got heat, and we did a couple of shows. But he was really friends with my ex-business partner because I found checks that were written to him from my ex-business partner. When I had, the bank account, I switched the address on it, and I found out that Tammy and myself paid for the wrestling ring and the wrestling show and paid all the wrestlers on one of the first FIP shows.
Yeah.
Came out of the Vixen money and stuff.
All in all, though, did you guys end up ahead on the Vixen site? I mean, did you end up?
Hell no. He came out with another DVD a year ago and screwed us over on that. But I just met with this great attorney. Mm-hmm. And first off, the district attorney in Hillsborough County, I took her all the paperwork, and she says he owes us $700,000.
Jesus.
But because he doesn't owe it to the state or the county, they really don't care. And so they do care about the fraud part. So
the what part?
The fraud. Because see, he had a credit card, and he was taking people's credit cards to the office, doing it like that.
Oh.
And then mailing them out, which is like mail fraud.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have my signature to do any of that.
Yeah.
So we've talked to the Postmaster General, and we've talked to, to other people, and he's kind of SOL.
Yeah.
Screwed now, basically, right?
What?
He's screwed now, basically, right?
Yeah. So this attorney I got's great. I mean, he's just gonna go after him. So,
but you guys did make some.
I do have to laugh at New Jack though, because I let him stay at my house and stuff. And I'm a good person. You can ask. There's been Joe Gomez. There's been so many wrestlers and stuff that have been friends that have slept on my couch.
Whatever happened to him, Joe Gomez?
He went to the federal prison, and it matters who. Yeah, I know. I got all these great friends. It matters who you talk to. Some people say it was for ecstasy. Other people say it was from embezzlement. I don't know.
Wow. Because he came in like a house of fire in WCW, and then he was gone.
I'm sorry, what?
He came in like a house of fire in WCW, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Yeah.
A lot of guys
in
WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard that happens a lot in WWE, too.
Yeah.
And gone. So, but yeah, New Jack stuff. I still get a giggle out of that because I'll never forget going down Nebraska Avenue and got this big black man driving a freaking Porsche Boxster with this white girl in it. I'm surprised the police didn't stop us, thinking that he like kidnapped me or something. You know, I mean,
well, why not? That guy's done everything else. I heard he beat up a 76-year-old man at a house show or an indie show somewhere.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. He's like whack. He pulled a knife. The one show that we worked together that came out, you know, and I came out like I was his manager and stuff, and these people started saying the N-word, and that pisses me off.
Right.
It really does, and especially when they had their kids there, and it's just so racist, and so he ended up pulling a knife. That was just too extreme. That's too crazy.
Well, they have a clip on that same DVD that we were talking about, and it's him against this guy who's like a local town famous wrestler. I forget his name, but he's some old guy, 76 years old, and New Jack's complaint was he wasn't selling my punches, and my thought is, well, Christ, Jack, what do you want him to do, take backflips for your punches? He's 76.
If you're 70-something years old, that you're even there.
Right.
that you even, you know, that you know what a punch is. I mean, God, my dad's 70-something years old. I mean, well, I'm sorry, no, I should take it back. He's 88 years old. He doesn't know anything. I mean, I hate it because my poor daddy is just, you know, he's gone. And a 78-year-old man, he doesn't need to be in the ring. So whoever had him do that, you know, is an idiot in the first place.
Well, they had to stop the match, though, because Jack went crazy because the crowd started chanting the N-word at him, and he almost killed the guy. And on the shoot, he says if they wouldn't have stopped it, he would have killed the guy.
Wow.
And that's just...
Yeah, well, I heard he has killed people before.
Yeah?
Didn't he used to be a bounty hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't no dog, the bounty hunter. That's my favorite show. So.
What is Bounty Hunter?
Love Dog.
What was that?
Dog the Bounty Hunter, that television show.
Not sure I heard of that one.
Yeah,
it's on A&E.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's the guy that got that, oh, God, that sleazy guy that was date raping those girls. He was videotaping them, and he was putting, like, roofies or whatever in their drinks, and he was the heir to the Max Factor.
Wow.
Remember heir to the Max Factor fortune?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I've seen previews for this show before. Doesn't the guy kind of look like Hulk Hogan?
No. You know, the reason why I like the show, it's funny, my boyfriend says, I know why you like the show, is because he looks like an 80s wrestler. He's got like a mullet, and he's got like bleached hair, and his wife is like short with really big boobs but fat, and like she's got really like 5-inch long nails. It's real cool. The show is really cool.
And it's on A&E, right?
Yeah, it's on A&E. And it was so funny because I was managing Larry's at Disco like last month at this show in Orlando, and I was like, I did something. I was like, do you like Dog the Bounty Hunter? Do you like Dog the Bounty Hunter? I did something. People looked at me like I was a retard. I was like, oh, I guess nobody here watches that television show. Oops. Oh, well.
Oh, wow.
You managed Larry at a show. Can he still wrestle?
Yeah.
How is
your
he?
hand?
Yeah, I remember watching
sure
old
can.
I used to think he was really good.
I mean, could he have ever wrestled? No, I'm just kidding.
New Jack.
I think Scott Hall had a remark once. He said, I watched one of your matches in Fast Forward, and you still didn't move.
Scott Hall said that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Is Scott Hall the one that can't wrestle, or is that Big Sex?
That's Kevin Nash.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, I shouldn't be talking. I don't know. I don't know how to work in the ring.
Oh, I love Larry, though. Larry's one of the funny... He was like the second guy I ever interviewed, and a year after we did the interview, he called me up just to ask me, what do you think of TNA? So I was like, wow, that's cool. So...
Who?
Yeah.
Kevin Nash?
No, that was Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah. He's cool. And I love Larry.
All right.
He's like a cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy.
All right, before we let you go, let me ask you, what's going on the Missy Hyatt and Francine TV website?
Well, we are, doing, I do my live chats on Monday, kind of fun, and we've been talking to the producer of Growing Up Gotti.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I gotta get my rear end to New York. And then I've also been talking to, my agent talked to somebody at one of the satellite radio stations. So, something like that could be happening for us.
Yeah, sounds like some great things going on that website. Be sure to check that out. It's Missy Hyatt, FrancineTV.com. Did I get that right?
Yes.
You got that right?
Excellent.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Missy. And did you ever get enough people to play, what card game was it with you?
No, nobody wants to play blackjack.
Aw.
I'm kind of upset, don't I?
Yeah, you do. You sound like a sad puppy.
I want someone to play blackjack. Nobody wants to play.
Aw.
Not fair, dear.
Well, I know how to play blackjack, but I don't know how to play poker, so.
Okay, well, then you need to come and sign up and play blackjack with me then.
All right.
Because once we get enough people, we're going to figure out the date for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we're going to play.
All right.
It'll be fun.
Sounds like fun. All right. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Missy.
think you can do that?
I think I can. I'm already signed up to the website, so.
Okay, cool.
I don't really post in the forums a lot.
To play with.
I don't really post in the forums enough, but I probably should get in there and do that. The message board.
You can. I get really bad. I don't go on there as much as I should, and answer stuff. And I know that I should do it more often. And I get lame and I just don't do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can't take you enough, and hopefully we'll see you in just a few more weeks.